Yeah. Slash. Did you like that weird looking intro? I dressed up once again. We're getting really fucking weird of these kind of videos now. They Will Kill You, a recent horror action film released a few weeks ago. I am a week late, but hey, I'm doing pretty good as following the upload schedule. I have definitely written down here. It's pretty good actually. We're doing pretty good. This is exactly where it is, and then Mario's somewhere in 2065. Directed by Kirill Sokolov. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. It's and obviously starring Zazie Beetz, a action horror comedy. So here we go. Quick synopsis. Zazie Beetz, character named Asia Reeves, has to find her sister after many years of being separated. She finds herself going to this weird, creepy, interesting looking hotel, which I personally do enjoy myself. She goes into this hotel where she does find herself facing many different obstacles that require her to use excessive force and try to survive the night. With the overall spectrum of they will kill her, they will kill you, henceforth the title of this film. She'll then find herself going through many different problems and overcoming things, which does have a very interesting kind of resolution. So that's pretty much a quick synopsis I can really give for the film. My quick little, feelings to the film as well. I really enjoyed it. It does have a few problems here and there, but overall, the film does its part. It's not supposed to be some sort of Oppenheimer level experience, but it's supposed to be a enjoyable experience nonetheless. I do recommend a good watch with this film, definitely with people, as it is a very community kind of film. Not really a terrifying film if you are squeamish or squillish or I couldn't find another word to rhyme with that. From here on out will be the spoiler talk of the video. If you don't want to watch the spoiler talk and just see the overall review of the film I give, I will have the timestamp in the video down below. And on top of that, I do recommend always watch movies completely blinded. Never watch a review beforehand to see if a movie's worth watching. Enjoy it, have a good time with the arts, and skip. So the first thing I want to go ahead and discuss is the first 30 minutes of the film. Now, the first 30 minutes of the film does have my biggest negatives, which does include the lack of horror elements throughout the film, the opening scene, the opening sequence of the film as well, and the lack of having personal characteristics for this film. So, when it comes to the horror aspect of the film, it is a horror action film. So, the action, very good. It's consistent throughout the entire movie, but the horror is almost pretty much not there. There's one scene I did get jump scared in, which I am the most bitchiest bitch of a person there probably is. Someone could walk into the room and I will get jump scared instantly. You can drop a pen 3 miles away and I will hear it in about 4.5 seconds and I will get scared instantly. There's only one part of this film that actually got me. It was just someone looking through a vent. So it wasn't even the scary dark room, dark figure in a mask scene that got me. It was 6 minutes before that. So the film doesn't really have any scary elements, which is a shame because I was hoping to have some thriller-esque moments in there that isn't just whether or not Zazie Beetz is going to survive this attack, but more of the person in the hallway, like, ah! And the one sequence that really does have horror in there is people trying to get into Zazie Beetz' hotel room, but they can't get in. So you have people stalking her through the vents, entering through the tunnels underneath the hotel to then do some scary things like licking feet and stalking once when she is sleeping. And that's weird. Who would want to lick feet? It's crazy. The last things when it comes to horror elements is body parts getting sliced off, heads getting exploded, and then you do have some weird proportions like a head growing again, just being very tiny, teeny tiny head like this big. You do get some like kind of gross moments, especially with an eyeball going over the place of the hotel, but after that, there's nothing else. Moving on to the opening sequence of the film. The opening sequence is really just a bunch of dead air. It doesn't have much going on. It's got some really bad dialogue in there, just telling you things that really don't feel like matter. The opening sequence is really just meant to separate both sisters from each other and have one sister be with the abusive father, and then Zazie Beetz being in prison for 10 years to then get us to the hotel. really, in the end of the day, that has nothing really to do much with the movie besides separation. One thing that really does give me the positive of the opening sequence is the opening shot of the film. The opening shot does give us this mannequin family, which clearly is a rich, powerful, and happy family in this red, vibrant room, which then you get the reflection of Zazie Beetz and her sister. So you see both sisters watching as they are clearly very well poor, cold, as they are in the rain. It's like a perfect, nice symbolism, metaphor to what this movie represents, and also what this movie will end up being at the end of the film. Lastly, I do want to talk about is the elements of visual sound effects almost. There are these little wacky 80s kind of sound effects that do play when the director, the production team wants to get the audience attention. So when, for example, there was one scene where we have to look at the vents, so it would go like a zzz kind of noise. It's just like kind of weird, wacky noises that really kind of offset me for a second, especially when I do believe there was a scene in a fight scene where she pulled out her weapon and it just made the weird noises that gave the movie its personality, its characteristics. And after the first act, the first 30 minutes, the sound effects are no longer there. And it kind of was a shame. I did notice by the end of Act 2 that we didn't get any more weird, goofy sound effects, and it kind of just made me sad. Now to the biggest part of the film, the action fight scenes. The actions in this film, this is some of the greatest action I have seen in a long, long time, probably since John Wick Chapter 4. The way that these action scenes were shot was absolutely amazing, and it completely devoids everything of logic and reality. For example, the very first fight scene we get, where Zazie Beetz is clearly getting pinned down and getting cornered, as we see this woman who is completely terrified and almost powerless opens the closet door, instantly cuts off a Satanist's head, grabs her shotgun, bam, throws people across the room. It goes from a 0 to a fucking 900 instantly. Now, one of the best action scenes happens in a restaurant, goddamn, a pitch black restaurant where she then ends up lighting a flame on her axe, and then as she gets back in there, swinging it, bam, swinging it, as every hit has a trail of embers and every hit has an impact. It's like a Fortnite pickaxe. It's fucking insane to watch. Throughout this, it is consistently being shot in one take. One beautiful shot. It doesn't do these stupid cuts, none of this shit that you have to quickly get weird angles that gives you an aneurysm. One shot, you see the whole thing, and you see the beautiful continuation of the fight. One of the greatest things I probably saw that got me completely jaw dropped, just insane moments, was when Zazie Beetz is face to face with someone with her shotgun. She then grabs her axe, throws up a fucking table in the sky, jumps off of the chair, ready to swing, shotgun blast into the table, splits open, and then she just sliced down right in between the Satanists, instantly slicing him perfectly, just straight down. Logically, stupid, makes no sense. There's no way a table can go that high and a shotgun can instantly crack it open without even maybe penetrating Zazie Beetz. At the same time, an axe can't even split a human down beautifully, perfectly like it did in the film, but it doesn't matter. It's an enjoyable, fun time. The movie doesn't take itself seriously. It really is just here to enjoy you, give you enjoyment. Boo! Future VecGnome here. I just couldn't be bothered to put back the maid dress, so here I am to fix my stupid mistakes. So lastly, to end this spoiler talk, the finale of the film. The finale of the film is very convoluted in a way. I have my problems with it due to the fact of it doesn't keep its consistent fighting kind of scenery with being in one shot. It has multiple cuts in there. It kind of feels a little off for what we got beforehand. Due to the fact, of course, there is a CGI pig head fighting Asia Reeves, Zazie Beetz. So I understand the cuts, and obviously the CGI isn't wonderful in the end of the day, but still, it is the weakest fight in the film itself, but it still does its job pretty well. Now, when it comes to the story elements of the film, the overall story is Asia Reeves has to find her sister And in order to find her sister, she has to put herself in this really terrible position of potentially being sacrificed. Her sister has to do the sacrificing in order to survive, live, and become an immortal servant of Satan. If she doesn't sacrifice her sister, Maria Reeves dies. So either way, if everything fails, both sisters will die. Bad, no good story. Bad. Oh no. So, little quick plot twist: Maria Reeves writes Asia Reeves on the pig head and gives her sister immortal access to become a immortal John Wick, kill all the cult Satanists, and fight Satan on a 1v1 and win. Now, when it comes to Satan himself, he does appear in this film, not as Satan himself, that's too much for the budget, but he does appear as a pig head, and pretty much this pig head has a bunch of names written all over his head, and if you write your name on the pig head, you pretty much sign your imaginary contract in becoming an immortal servant. And you have to do what he says, or you go kaboom. The film ends with Asia just getting the pig head, putting it on a little trolley, and fucking sending it with it just being completely on fire, getting rid of everyone's names, and freeing them from this immortal prison, and pretty much having a little bit of pig skin. I keep fucking that up. My whatever. And writing Maria Reeves on it, bringing back her sister. So everyone lives happily ever after, going to find some brekkie. So that's pretty much how the film ends. And now take it away, VecGnome. I'm really bad at names. So when it comes to the dinner score, which is a phenomenal feast, this was an enjoyable film. As someone who doesn't really watch trailers anymore or tries to avoid as many trailers as possible, I went into this movie completely blind, and I came out of this completely enjoying what I saw. This film, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 8 out of 10 chicken burgers out of 8 out of 10 chicken burgers. It was a enjoyable time. It doesn't try hard to be a serious film. It understands what it's trying to do, and it does it really well. Despite all the cons, most of the positives of this film, which is most of the film entirely, overwhelm those negatives, and it generally is just a good time. So that's pretty much all I got. So yep, that's it. Good night, and yep, see ya.